What up, what up, what up, what it is, what it do. You know who it is. Who are you? Back again with the 22 twos. Your boys in the building, ready for another quick hitter. As always, please follow, subscribe, like, share,
comment.
Comment. Tell people in the world about our greatness. We got your boys here, Mr. Clark Kent, Mr. Too Smooth, Mr. Darnell D. Stevens, and of course, the one and only Mr. Maneuvers. We can go ahead and get into it real quick. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on. We thought we covered a lot in the last free agency recap, but moving Monday was only the beginning. Yeah. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my boy Smooth. He going to go ahead, as always, and take the helm and lead us through.
Yes, sir. So as you know, we reconvened after moving day Monday. A lot of pieces were moving, tons of running backs all over the place, new faces, new places. We hopped on, we recorded, we tried to see what was going on. Hey, yo, time out. Yeah, that's a part of the, shout out to Mello, part of the left. But we talked about, we talked about all the moves that happened on moving day Monday. But one of the biggest pieces that we expected to see just happened over the weekend. Of course, Justin Fields has been traded, no longer the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He is now moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just signed Russell Wilson, who we spoke about last week. Apparently Russell Wilson is, he's only on a 1-year deal, so it looks like Justin Fields will kind of be there taking on that backup role for now, but will probably be the Steelers QB1 just about in another season here. So, fellas, what do we got here? Kenny Pickett no longer on the Steelers, moving on to backup Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. So, he's still getting some of that Pennsylvania love, still staying within that state, but he's moving on. So, Sean, talk to me about what this Justin Fields move to the Steelers looks like for their future. Did Chicago make a mistake? I know we all talked about, obviously, they were going to go ahead and take that number 1 pick, draft Caleb Williams. It's, it's no secret. What's the outlook for Justin Fields here in Pittsburgh?
I think it's an ideal situation for Justin Fields. And for those who are saying that, well, Chicago got fleeced in the deal, that makes zero sense because based on the parameters, what they traded for a 6th, it was a conditional to a 4 if he paid 51% of the snaps. That already tells you that there was no market for Justin Fields in the trade space in the first place in the NFL. So for them to be able to get a player that, and let's keep it real about Justin Fields. He has promise as a player, but he hasn't thrown for more than 3,000 yards in the season. He hasn't had a 300-yard passing game. He is a mobile threat quarterback at this point in time. His legs scare you more than his arm. Yeah. I feel like being in a structured organization like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who this guy over here absolutely loves other than the Giants. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a great fit. He's going to be able to learn from a championship quarterback in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, on the other hand, in contrast, he's on a 1-year deal. He's being stipend by the Broncos in terms of his contract. He's getting paid $39 million, so he's getting 1.2 with the Steelers. So that kind of takes care of his salary, so they don't have anything to worry about. He's on an audition. Justin Fields is in an advantageous position to be able to learn and sit back and kind of put himself in a position to succeed. Now, as far as Kenny Pickett goes, Kenny Pickett, you done fucked up now. Because guess what? You could have zipped it and stood behind Russell Wilson and still have the same opportunity. You would have been Justin Fields in this position right now. So with you doing what you did, you're sent over this to Philadelphia, and how much playing time are you gonna get unless they're barring injury with Jalen Hurts? I mean, there's zero opportunity for you to be able to get on the football field behind a 25-year-old quarterback who has 2 Pro Bowls under his belt. You know what I'm saying?
And with potential quarterback at that.
Precisely. So, I mean, Kenny Pickett pretty much screwed himself. But Justin Fields, and shout out to Ryan Poles, because Ryan Poles could have traded him anywhere, but he also vetted destinations in terms of assets and in terms of what Justin Fields wanted and where he wanted.
Very respectful. Very respectful.
Yeah, it was a very respectful and classy move by Ryan Poles. So, salute, shout out, respect to him, and I look forward to seeing what the Steelers do with that defense, with those talented wide receivers on the outside. They got 2 talented running backs in the backfield, so it's going to be really fun to see what they can do with damaging the AFC North.
See, Maneuver's had his hand up. He's itching to get in here. And Sean, you mentioned
tag him. Put in the game, coach.
you mentioned Justin Fields essentially auditioning this year and kind of backing up Russ and learning from him. But, a lot of the talk has been about Justin Fields' legs, as you mentioned, being the scarier part of his game than his arms. Is that something he can learn from Russ? Is it more about reading his progressions? Because we've seen a sample size of him being able to make the throw physically. Is this about the progression and the mental game, and how can Russ help him develop that? But Maneuvers, talk to me.
All right, I'm gonna have to pace myself here because there's some things I definitely want to say. So to answer your question, I think in the situation with a stand-up organization, where the process is the process, and the standard is the standard in Pittsburgh, I think Justin Fields is going to be
Mike Tomlin voice.
Justin Fields is going to be he's going to be in a far better situation than he's ever been in his NFL career. I think understanding how to run the offense that he's going to live in now with Arthur Smith. I think Arthur's going to do an amazing job with him and Russ. I think he does a good job of playing to his quarterback strength, unlike a lot of offensive coordinators around the league. So you're going to see a lot of play action. You're going to see a lot done to give these guys the opportunity to use their legs and their arms to go ahead and make plays, within the system, and then big plays downfield, when things break down, which is what Russ, has been known for, buying time and having receivers that can, run a scramble drill and fire move over the middle. I think it's gonna be really good from a scheme perspective for Russ and for Justin moving forward. Now here I go, and I'm gonna go ahead and get real spicy. Last week said some things, and I feel ashamed that I said them because I don't know the man personally, but I now have enough information to go off to say that I didn't know that Kenny Pickett had that much bitch in him. Like
behind that twinkle in your eyes, I can see the bitch.
Like, man, talk about, like, the dude came in and he signed a 1-year deal. He's on the loan basically, and you said, "I want out."
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to. Like, it's very rare that players get drafted into a great organization, a really great organization,
a legacy organization,
and be like, I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend my entire career here. Like, that's like the dream, to get drafted, play, and retire for the team that drafted you.
Yeah,
that dude is a bitch, and he's scared of competition, and he's scared. I almost want to say he's scared of the light, which is why he wanted to go to Philadelphia and sit behind Jalen Hurts, where he doesn't have a chance to,
of all places,
to do anything. Like, he's not gonna play. He's gonna be a career backup now, because he's not gonna have opportunity for any team to say, like,
he's a starter.
This is a guy we can build our franchise around.
Right.
He didn't show enough in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Where, granted, he was in some less than ideal situations, but he didn't show enough there.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, but we all know how the NFL is, man. Like, number one, coming out of school in the draft, he already had the knock on him with the small hands. Can he play at the NFL level? Like, all these things were already working against him, right? He got to NFL, but he got to NFL. And the one thing that I know I said it, so I'm sure lots of other people said it. God damn, that boy played with moxie. You know what I'm saying? He got a little fire to him. That's all out the window now. Like, he ain't got no fire. You got bitch in him because he said, I don't want to compete. Mm-hmm. And he went to Philadelphia. He's not gonna get the money he could have got. Yeah. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's not gonna get the opportunity to play, you know. So that's my take on Kenny Pickett. You mentioned Ryan Poles and what he did with Justin Fields, and you know, I've kind of shifted a little bit. You know, earlier in the week, you know, as some more of the reports came out.
I know. Anytime you have a conversation with me, you have a
speak? I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word when you talk. Just so you can shut the hell up when I talk, okay? All right.
Don't be so sensitive. Don't be so listen.
I raised my hand. You didn't call on me, and now you over here taking away from my time. Shut up, okay?
That's too funny.
But nah, seriously though. Yeah, we did have a conversation. I still my statements remain my statements. My feelings about Ryan Poles and who he is as a GM, they have shifted. I feel like he is a stand-up dude, and I do respect him as a man. Mm-hmm. However, if I was an owner, and this statement will remain, if Caleb Williams, who they're gonna draft with the number 1 overall pick, mm-hmm. and they don't win, if I was an owner, I would say, okay, I think it's time for me to move on from Ryan Poles. And here's my reason why.
Stupidest shit I've ever heard.
It's not stupid. It's not stupid. Let me say what I have to say. Right? Because it's going to feel like, yo, how many top 5 draft picks, how many top 10 draft picks are we gonna have to get in order to feel like our organization is now set up for winning long term? So you understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that if Caleb wins, all is right with the world. But if Caleb wins with the accumulation of talent that Ryan Poles has been able to surround him with, walking in the door as the day 1 rookie starter, if he has a CJ Stroud type season, all is solved. There's no problems in Chicago land. If
all right, let's bring it back real quick though. Darnell, just to bring it back to Justin Fields real quick, are we going to look at him differently at the end of his Steelers tenure than we did, that we are now at the end of his Chicago Bears tenure?
I think we will, because number one, Justin Fields coming out of college, and this is something we have to really dwell on and focus on. When he was a highly touted dual threat quarterback out of Georgia, he was not a passer. We have to be honest about this. Is levels to where we're going with Justin Fields. When he got to Ohio State is known for having what? Excellent weapons. He made good throws, but Ryan Day and that system that he was in was a great system. He went to Chicago. It just wasn't the place. The Chicago is not known as an offensive firepower team. The last offensive firepower team they had was that Super Bowl year with Rex Grossman. And the number 1 offensive weapon on that team was Devin Hester. That was their weapon that year. So Chicago's never been that team. Justin Fields now, we're going to look back and say, listen, as much as I got to give it to him as well. He sucked up his pride. He said, hey, you know what? I'm okay with going. He sucked up his pride. I didn't say the other one. I didn't say the other one.
Borderline.
That was.
I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it.
I would say, okay, he took his pride and tucked it in.
You stepped on a crack, big dog.
Yeah, he took his pride and he tucked it away, and he said, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to learn. I'm going to go to Tomlin. I'm going to go to, this Russ situation they have going on in Pittsburgh, because ever since Ben left, it's been a big gap for that organization.
But I gotta say this about Justin Fields. Let's not get it confused. Business is business. That's what it was. It wasn't, we can't win with Justin Fields. We are not convinced we want to pay Justin Fields the kind of money. We're gonna have to pay him.
Like if you have to
shown,
if you have to wonder about a guy after the third year, he's not
I don't think they're wondering. I just don't think
but
they haven't. I don't think they have seen enough sitting with the number one pick in hand to say, okay, there's literally, it's business is business. We can reset. We can get 4 or 5 years out of a young guy.
Listen, man, the pressure comes from them having the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft. That is it. You cannot go in any other direction. You cannot pivot. You have to take Caleb Williams. If you do not take Caleb Williams and you stick with Justin Fields and you continue down that trajectory that you're going under with 2,500 yard passing seasons, the turnovers, the non-explosive offense, then guess what happens? You're pretty much screwed as a GM. You're gonna be fired after the next season. So guess what? Ryan Poles made the right decision.
You reset.
By going.
You reset.
I mean,
he didn't draft Fields. He didn't draft Fields. And another thing, what it does is it resets his clock. Because guess what? If you take Caleb Williams, now you have time to say, I need to see that this quarterback develops into what he needs to be. So that buys you another 3 to 4 years as a GM.
I don't think it buys him 3. I don't think it buys him 3 to 4 years.
Hold on. Fuck if the coach don't do what they're supposed to do.
2 years.
He got 3 years.
Fuck if the coach doesn't do.
I got 3. Mine's not coming up for me. 3.
Listen, man. Fuck if the coach doesn't do what they're supposed to do. You put the talent together in order for the team to win. If the coach doesn't do what they're supposed to do, he's out of here.
But I think I just want to make this point. I don't want to go too deep into the subject, pause. But I think it's 2 years.
Now you don't want to go too deep in the conversation. Now we talk about facts.
Because what I'm gonna say is also a fact. I say it's 2 years, and I keep coming back to, like, they have to win. You have to understand the NFL. If it's not, it's two things. It's a copycat league. Yeah. It's a copycat league, and it's
what have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately? And you know what happened lately? A young man got drafted, went to Houston, and balled the hell out. So now the standard is set. Like, if you can't come in and do what CJ Stroud did, then
CJ Stroud is an outlier, and here's why. He's an Ohio State quarterback that had first-year success with a team that was a bottom feeder in the AFC South. So that's not the same kind of situation, bro. That is not even the same fucking ballpark.
We're talking about be looked at. That's how it's going to be looked at. You gotta for everything that you just said. Houston was a bottom feeder. They had nothing to go off. It was the place that you don't want to go. They hired DeMeco Ryans. They got their defense did well. They brought in C.J. Stroud, and guess what? They became. They have now become.
They had Tank Dell on the outside. They had Nico Collins.
Tank Dell is a rookie.
But listen, what I'm saying to you,
it's not like they were devoid of talent.
But you lend it to his point. You're lending to his point, though.
Exactly. What I'm saying to you is,
you're tying into his point.
He came in as a rookie and did really well. And guess what? He was not as highly touted as Caleb Williams.
After that year CJ Stroud had, sidebar, there's probably 20 teams plus that will give up their quarterback for CJ Stroud right now in a heartbeat if they called.
So it kind of changes. The way the teams are going to look at it.
But I would say this. Okay, but here's a silver lining for Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles was able to fleece the Panthers. Look how many picks in the top.
Yeah, he fleeced the Panthers, but he fumbled the bag on the Justin Fields trade. No, you knew that you wasn't going to sign Justin Fields.
Nobody wanted him.
They could have traded him early.
They could have traded him.
I don't know about that.
Listen, you don't think he could have went to Philly for what they got for Kenny Pickett? They got more for Kenny Pickett than.
But what you also have to realize is that it would have drove the price up for everything else. It would have drove the price up for everything else. So you wouldn't have been able to get Keenan Allen at the price that you got him.
Yeah.
You know, if you sold early on Justin Fields, so it's like pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? You already got the pieces that you needed to put around a potential pick of Caleb Williams.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, where it would have drove the price up for everything else. But guess what? They would have had it because they would have got what they should have got for Justin Fields.
I don't think the market was there,
listen.
And they still have a top 10 pick in the NFL draft.
They got two
to go and get whoever the
two.
The two. So
they got two.
Listen. You talk about a GM that went from sugar to shit right away. It's definitely Ryan Poles.
Listen, picks don't equate success. It's not. Get it twisted.
Yeah,
picks
but
are very nice
does make
to have.
shit a lot easier.